Hey everyone, what is going on? So I have another video for you today with a Psychic Cup team that did really well for me. I had a 9-1, which is what I'm showing you in this video. But the team is going to be Bruxious, Galarian Slowbro, and Galarian Slowking. So the double brothers, the Super Mario brothers, right? As I like to call them. So the thing is, this is a really good team that's a great backline. I feel like this team does struggle against Malamar. So I feel like instead of Bruxious, you could go with your own Malamar, which I know people have been doing really well with. My friend Gaming with Yogi Bear did really well with that. Or you could go with like Galarian Rapidash, which I think is really good as well. So you could have an answer for that Malamar should you see it. But as I said, I did do really well, and I reached Veteran with this team with Bruxious. So yeah, if you want to switch it up a little bit and replace Bruxious, that's totally fine. But let's go ahead and dive right into these battles. There we go. Okay, here we go. So we have the first battle, and again, I have the 9-1 run, Bruxious into Bronzor. Okay, so obviously a Payback is going to KO me. This really isn't a dominating matchup, even though Bite is super effective. Look how much damage they're doing as well. But I'm going to go ahead and throw the Aqua Tail. Yeah, I mean, you could throw Psychic Fangs here. They shielded, so I got lucky with that. I didn't expect the shield. But I will say, if they don't shield, they do survive it. I actually don't shield that, so I do give them the win there. So I'm just going to be able to farm down. Now, the problem here is I can't really farm down before they get to an attack, I don't think. At least that's what I thought. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Surf just to KO it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have that much energy, but that is okay. At least I didn't have to invest a shield. But they actually go for a catch, I guess. Maybe a catch on this. I'm not sure. But either way, they're going to bring in Rapidash, and I do bring in the Slowbro. Now, I know this is only a Body Slam because they didn't charge up for the Mega Horn or the High Horsepower. Most of the time, it's going to be High Horsepower. But I have seen Mega Horn. Body Slam is going to get the shield for me. Very nice. But I'm going to be able to farm down, which is fantastic. Out comes that Bruxious. I do go ahead and decide to bait here. If I didn't bait, I think I could have made 2 Shadow Balls, and they do call that. Or not Shadow Balls, 2 Sludge Bombs. I could have definitely made 2. So the bait, definitely not necessary, but that's okay. My opponent is just going to let that go. Maybe they were calling another bait, but at that point, even if they called the bait, I still would have been okay. Good game. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Bruxious into Bruxious. So we do have a mirror match going on right now. So the way I play this mirror match is well, as of right now, I'm going for the Aqua Tail. You do want to go for Psychic Fangs because Psychic Fangs is going to be enough to KO by the time the bites bite all the way down. And if for some reason they shield, which I don't expect, but if they do shield, at least you're going to debuff them. So I do think Psychic Fangs is probably the way to go. But I did throw the Aqua Tail there. It doesn't really matter. Either way, they did catch, and they actually concede. Was it Double Fairy? I did battle a lot of Double Fairy. I will tell you that. So I'm going to call Double Fairy on that one. Good game. Moving on, Bruxious into Slowking. Okay, picking up a pretty good matchup. We do have to respect the Shadow Ball here, but they do decide to shield. And I'm going to respond with my Galarian Slowbro. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shield this. So if it's a Body Slam, I do have to throw because they will make it to a move. If it happens to be the Mega Horn or the High Horsepower, I keep on wanting to call it Drill Run. I don't know why. I do have to just... I can farm down at that point. But I'm going to go ahead and double shield because they shielded. If they happen to throw a Body Slam, they won't make it to another move. So I didn't think they would bait. It was the High Horsepower, so that is a good shield by me. So let's see what decides to come in. It's going to be a Galarian Slowking. So I'm going to go ahead and charge up for the Surf. I'm going to be able to throw the Surf. I don't expect the shield. Trying to get to another one. Actually trying to just sacrifice my Bruxious. Maybe make a catch. Maybe catch the Surf, but they do go ahead and throw the Shadow Ball, which will be enough to KO me. I still have both Galarian Slowbro and Galarian Slowking on me. I do make it to the Surf, so this is going to be enough to KO or get the shield. We'll see what they decide to do here. Psychic Cup battles are relatively fast, right? They actually do shield that. Out comes the Gardevoir. Okay, I'm going to... well, they're going to concede, so I'm not going to do anything. Good game, well played. Yep, able to take that one. Let's go ahead and move into the next one. Oops, I don't have my light on. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. Let's go ahead and see how the next battle plays. Okay, picking up a Galarian Rapidash lead. Not really ideal. I mean, we have play, but we might as well switch out. Maybe lure out a counter or something to one of the Galarian. I do use Galarian Slowking as the safe swap, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and shield it. It is a High Horsepower, so really good shield by me, but they do respond with Malamar. So, as I said... Malamar is difficult for this team. I'm actually going to go ahead and bait here. The bait probably isn't worth it because the Shadow Ball is even neutral and it doesn't KO. Even a Shadow Ball and a Surf doesn't KO, so probably shouldn't have. But that is okay. Again, still new with this team, still making these slight misplays, but that is okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that one, and I will be able to get off this Surf. So I will either get shield advantage or get it, or not shield advantage, but get a shield or KO, but they decide to give up switch advantage. So out comes the Rapidash. Rapidash will be able to farm me down, but I do have the Slowbro, but I am down a shield, so I do have to keep that in mind. I don't want to be hit with a high horsepower. It's just going to KO me. But it is a body slam. A little bit unfortunate. Could have taken that. But they do respond with the Slow King. I'm going to go ahead and respond with Bruxious. But because they're up 2 shields, that is going to spell disaster for me because the Shadow Ball is going to be enough to knock me out. And there's no way I'm going to win that one. Great game. You really don't like going down shields in the Psychic Cup. But let's go ahead and move into the next one. We do have the Bruxious. We do have the Bruxious. So mirror match going on here. And we'll see how it plays out. I have a pretty good rank, or a relatively decent rank, Bruxious, so usually I do win, well, I should say usually I lose CMP, but sometimes I do win, like in this case. Let's see if my opponent shields it. They do not. Did never expect the shield. I'm going to go ahead and swap immediately. Now, the Rapidash is not switching out, so that could tell me a couple of things, right? I mean, there could be a Fairy in the back, which would be good, like Gardevoir, right? Because I have the Slowbro in the back, and I'm going to go ahead and bait here just to see if it's going to be that Gardevoir. And because they shielded, I'm kind of thinking it is. I'm going to go ahead and go for another Surf. Now, they know this is just a Surf, right? So no shield there. I do shield. It is worth it. See if they want to bait here. They do not. So that's really good for me. And it's actually not. It's going to be that Slowbro. So I'm actually going to go ahead and bait against the Slowbro. Now, they do have to fear the Shadow Ball, but they could make the call. But they do decide to shield it. Now, I do survive a Surf, and I will be able to make it to a Shadow Ball, right? So that is going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. And out comes the Shadow Ball, and I still have the Slowbro in the back. So we're looking really good here. So down it goes. I'm just going to switch out and finish it off with Galarian Slowbro. Yeah, the two of these Pokemon absolutely destroy this league, in my opinion. Able to pick up the 4-1 in the first set. I think I played relatively well for the most part. Obviously, there was some mistakes, but that will be enough to get me to 24-62, and I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next set. Bruxious into Raichu. Okay. I mean, it's not really great. It's not like a dominating matchup because I am weak to these electric moves, and they will make it to the Thunder Punch or the Wild Charge. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up. It's going to be that Thunder Punch, so that's fine. Out comes Malamar. So as I mentioned, I did actually lose to a decent amount of Malamar, but I'm going to throw the Aqua Tail there. I'm going to stay and force them to throw. They are going to go ahead and throw now, so I'm just going to let it go. Obviously, Foul Play is going to KO. Even if they undercharged that, I probably would still get knocked out. So I do bring in the Slow King. My opponent is going to go ahead and throw, so I'm going to go ahead and commit that shield. It's going to be that Foul Play as expected, right? Well, as we knew. So I do have 2 Surfs, so I'm thinking, well, you know, if they shield this, they are at the move, but I should be able to win CMP. But I actually lose CMP there, which was kind of surprising to me. I think it's actually, it could go either way depending on IVs. Because I have 1 CMP in this matchup before, so it really depends on IVs, I believe, because I've won CMP before, as I said. But out comes Gardevoir. You absolutely love to see it. So because there's a Gardevoir in the back, if there was a Rapidash instead of Gardevoir, we actually would have lost. But we're going to be able to win. Now, my opponent does make it to a move, and it will KO me a Thunder Punch. But I just need 1 more Hex, and I'm going to be able to get it, and that's going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Let's go ahead and move into the next one. Bruxious into Bruxious. So another mirror match going on. Very nice. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get to the Psychic Fangs ASAP. Now, if my opponent does win CMP, I just let the Bruxious go. I've been winning CMP here. As I said, even though I have a decently ranked one, I guess it's not great. It's not like perfect or anything, but it's relatively good. So Rapidash coming in, and again, they are not switching out. So I'm going to go ahead and play this like I always play it. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. Is a high horsepower. Beautiful. Usually I expect the Body Slam. Actually, it's not a Gardevoir in the back, but that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Surf. I don't know why I'm baiting against Malamar. just because now the bait makes sense. Just because, like, as I mentioned earlier, the Malamar is a Dark and Psychic type, so it can take Shadow Balls, and it could take it pretty well, right? So I'm going to be able to go for this Surf right now, and they let it go. And there's a CMP where I won, whereas I lost before. So I guess like it does matter, IVs on that situation. But I'm going to be able to bring in Slow Bro right now. I'm going to go ahead and commit the shield. Definitely worth it. I could take it, but it is worth the shield right now. And out comes Rapidash. And I'm going for that farm down, not quite. They do have to throw a high horsepower to KO me, right? A body slam is not going to be enough. But I could farm down with my Bruxish because Bite is so spammy. Not with the charge moves, but it's spammy, just all that damage it does, right? Good game, well played to my opponent. Moving on, Bruxish into Victini. Really good lead because you do resist the Fire-type V-Create as well as Overheat, even though it still does a lot. So you will still take a lot from a V-Create, but you can take it. You don't have to shield one, and this is definitely just a V-Create. I'm thinking they'll probably throw and dip, which is exactly what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Slowbro. Now, if you call the Double Fairy, like if you think it's going to be Double Fairy, I knew that was a Body Slam, by the way, you could go into the other one, the Slowking, in this situation, because Slowbro is going to have a much better matchup, right, against the Gardevoir. But you know what? It's just safer to go into the Slowbro here, I think. But I do shield that Mega Horn, which is really good shield by me. So out comes Victini. A Surf is going to be enough to knock out, unless if they decide to shield, and they might shield. We'll see if they want to get off an attack. They do shield. Again, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, it could be Double Fairy. There could be a Gardevoir chilling in the back. I do let this one go, V-Create, because I'm like, even if there is a Gardevoir, I can get to a Shadow Ball and KO it with Slowking. I do bring in my Bite user. It's the Malamar. Again, just because they say swap a Rapidash does not mean it's Double Fairy, but I have seen quite a few Double Fairies as well. But either way, I did get off my attack. I do bring in the Slowking. I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield. Could have let, well, I mean, I could have let it go, but it would have done a lot. So I do go ahead and shield it and get to my Shadow Ball right now. And this Shadow Ball is going to be enough. Beautiful. And now out comes the Victini, and I'm going to be able to farm down. And that is going to be a great game. Very well played to my opponent. Really well done. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Here we go. Bruxish into Rapidash. So not a good lead, but I have been beating Rapidash leads because I do have two pretty decent answers. Unfortunately, the Malamar does come in. So now, after I've been baiting with the Surf the past couple of games, right, when I battled Malamar, I am going for the Shadow Ball now because I don't anticipate the shield. Now I can go for Surf. I do let this one go. At least my Slowking, it's actually a Hyper Beam. Which I was not expecting, I will be honest, but nice Hyper Beam by the opponent. But the good thing here is I am going to be able to get a shield, but the bad thing is they will be able to get a lot of energy by farming me down. So I do bring in my Bruxish, and the Malamar is going to go ahead and go for an attack. I do commit the shield right now. Foul play, that is fine. I mean, I knew it was foul play. So I do bite down. Out comes the Rapidash right now. And I'm going to go ahead and go for this Aqua Tail. So I'm going to go for the Aqua Tail. And then I'm going to dip out into Galarian Slowbro. So here I come. I actually catch a move. I wasn't intending to catch a move, but I do go ahead and shield it anyway. It is the Mega Horn. Maybe... No, I don't think that was a bait. Oh, not a bait. I think that was a catch, right? I don't think they saw the switch and then threw. It's kind of hard to tell, I guess. I think that was a successful bait, but nonetheless, it was still a Mega Horn, so it was a good shield by me. My opponent will go ahead and get off an attack right now. It's going to be an Overheat. Oh yeah, as Ionic would say, boom! But they do get significantly debuffed, which is good. So the good thing about this, they actually throw another Overheat. I'm able to tank that. If they were not debuffed, that would have KO'd, right? But this is really good because I am going to be able to get off the Aqua Tail, and that farm allowed me to get the Aqua Tail, and I'm able to get off an Aqua Tail and KO and take the win. So good game, well played to my opponent, as always. Battling a veteran right now. Bruxish into Victini, you love to see the lead. Really good lead for me. So it is a good lead, even though, like, with the Overheat, would it KO from this range? No, I don't think it would be, but look how much V-Create does. That's the only reason I question that. So Rapidash is coming in. Again, I'm going to respond with my Slowbro. You could call the body slam. It's really, really risky. My opponent does body slam. I would say most of the time they probably will body slam because it's just safer to go for the body slam after charging up for like the Mega Horn or something. But it is risky. Out comes Malamar, which when I saw Malamar, I was like, uh-oh, I'm down a shield. You hate to see it. But I'm going to be able to get off the surf, so I do want to at least get off some damage. They do shield it, so at least I got a shield, so either shield the damage, right? My opponent is going to go ahead and throw a foul play. I'm going to let it go. I'm thinking my Slowbro is going to be tanky enough. It's not tanky, but tanky enough to survive it, and it does survive, but they throw another attack, which is really good. I want to say, no, maybe I could have gotten to the surf. I remember at the time on stream, because I did stream these battles, I wasn't sure if I could make it to the surf. Like, after they threw, I wasn't sure. Maybe I could have made it. Maybe they would have been able to farm me down, but I guess they didn't want to risk it. But, you know, I totally respect it. So my opponent will be able to get off this attack. It will do a lot, but I'm going to go ahead and let it go because I do live it. And I'm trying to get to the surf. I am able to get it. My opponent is going to be able to win CMP there. So I do shield just to get off the surf. I knew I locked in my surf already, so that's why I wanted to shield just to get it off. And now I'm going to switch out right now, and I'm going to be able to make it to the Aqua Tail and KO the Victini, and that is going to be a beautiful game. Very well played to my opponent. Again, Malamar, very difficult for this team, so if you want to go with that Rapidash in the lead, if you want to go with the Malamar in the lead as well, I think both of those options could be really solid. I think I'm actually going to try that with Galarian Slowbro and Galarian Slowking. I think that is really good, but yeah, I'm going to be able to take that one, and that's going to be a beautiful 5-0 for me. So again, going 9-1 with this team, enough to get me into veteran rank. After avoiding veteran for a few days, I'm able to get there. You absolutely love to see it. So thank you so much. We do pick up the pants, which is really cool. Next up is going to be Expert. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.